Welcome everybody. This is our AI-enabled clean core with SAP HANA Cloud. And my name is Volker Sackau. I'm HANA Product Manager, and I'm very, very pleased to introduce you to Manjender Singh.
Hello, Volker, and warm welcome from my side. My name is Manjender, working as a BTP lead architect at Henkel, and mainly driving innovations at Henkel for the BTP. So my team is developing BTP applications, and I'm excited to be here and share my insights how we at Henkel are adopting the technology of BTP to improve our value chain.
Yeah, wonderful. So I just got on the weekend one of these flyers you get normally at home, and there is also one of your products, Persil here. And we want to explain today how this magic number here is created in Henkel and how it comes to the customer. So that's about the session here.
Yes, indeed. So, that number which you see on the flyer is actually based also out of an SAP system, right? So all this data is available on SAP, and we have built a very cool innovative app to actually produce that number and also, give it to the customer.
Okay, cool. So let's start. And first of all, for those who don't know what Henkel is, maybe you introduce your two product categories or activities.
Yeah, sure. So, maybe who don't know Henkel until now, so it's a global leader in industrial and consumer businesses. So we have on one side adhesive technologies, which are more or less enabling sustainable mobility and packaging solutions. And on the other side, consumer brands. Now that you can see Persil, Sparkov, which are the famous brands operated around the world. And here we are, more or less redefining self-care for millions across the globe. And on the other side, home care innovations like Persil, which is making your houses cleaner, safer, and more eco-friendly. So that is more or less Henkel in short. And at the center of Henkel's success is our digital transformation. Be it AI-driven solutions or data analytics solutions on top of HANA Cloud for sure. And we are adopting this technology, and SAP is playing an important part for us to actually deliver high-quality solutions to our customers.
Sounds good. So let's look a little bit deeper into this. I have the clean core idea here just briefly summarized. We come to that later again. But the main idea here is that you want to get more agile, that you want to get things faster to the market. You have SAP core systems. I think you even have an older system. You have an ECC, to my understanding.
Yes.
And to have to get the data out and have to process them, but you want to get fast to the market, and you're using all modern technologies in addition to your existing environments. We're just looking at the next step here. Oops, the wrong direction. So I'm from HANA Cloud, so we are looking mainly on the HANA technology you're using in BTP. Of course, you're using much more inside the BTP stack, and you will show that later on. For us, it's important that you have a very fast database. You just told me a minute ago that in the past you take 1 day to calculate something. Now you're doing it within 1 minute. So that's really amazing what you're doing here. HANA itself provides you with advanced analytics, so you're using the calc engine and the machine learning we have inside HANA, as well as you can also add it from outside. You benefit from the multi-model. You're using, in particular, HDI, which is not mentioned here. You're using data tiering as well, so using NSE and other things. And I think you're also looking to use the vector engine, and the new knowledge graphs is in plan in the pipeline as well.
Yeah, we are evaluating that in a proof of concept. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's the technology underneath that, and we are living really at Henkel in a mixed hybrid world, where we have the old stuff on premise, where we have. Are you using RISE? I'm not sure.
On the way.
On the way. Okay, and you have cloud functionalities. We have also on the ABAP side the CDS views, the virtual data model there, where you can easily consume things. I think we are showing another session tomorrow at DA101, where I'm showing how to get a business partner into a BTP application. And we have, of course, the environment, formerly BAS. Now the next evolution is coming with SAP Build, which you're also using to develop your code and to deploy it to the landscapes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So with that, so what you are doing at Henkel with SAP, particularly in the BTP space?
So, I mean, BTP is playing a crucial part for us, for sure, right? So it's our central platform to enable our business process across our value chain. And on the screens, you currently can see how is our current landscape looking like. It's a very complex one, which have consisting on two parts. One is the extension, one is the integration. And we have deployed 14 plus applications into production already. And 25,000 users at Henkel are working on across this 40 plus applications, more or less. Every Henkel employee having touch points to BTP applications. And all these applications are consuming 1.5 terabyte of runtime. We are talking about Cloud Foundry, and overall 15 terabytes of HANA Cloud. So our HANA Cloud footprint is quite huge, I would say. And that's why, we are also looking into innovations for HANA Cloud. And on the other side, we are also using heavily the integration capabilities of BTP, right? So we have an API hub established at Henkel.
Using that as well, yeah.
With 30 APIs, which we have in use. And 60 million API calls are routed through that platform to our ERP backend system to also one side safeguard them, and as well to have also control which traffic is going into our ERP system. And so that is actually how we at Henkel using BTP and also driving innovations. And now in the next phase, we are also looking more into AI-enabled applications, which we will maybe talk in short about this.
Are you having certain patterns how you use HANA?
Yes, for sure. So, I mean, HANA is playing a crucial role at Henkel to drive innovations on BTP. So, HANA Cloud we are using as a fully cloud-based in-memory database, and which is giving us huge benefits. So it's on one side managed by SAP, and from our side we have a very low TCO, and it is supporting modern cloud-based development approaches. So you can really implement cloud-native applications on BTP with HANA. And we at Henkel are categorizing the HANA Cloud usage into three categories, which you can see on the screen, right? So starting from the first, let's say we are using HANA as a shared environment. Let's say for small applications who have not the need to have a full-fledged HANA Cloud installed. And here we're using the concept of HDI containers, right? So we are isolating the different applications, and this HANA Cloud environment is centrally operated by my team. And we are operating it centrally, so we have an operations team who is doing daily monitoring on the HANA, who are configuring the workload classes, which is very important to also have a fair share across the runtimes. And we have set it up alerting, so we are automatically informed and also doing central upgrades to support our operations. So that is the one use case pattern.
Are you just interrupting here? Are you looking also at the new tenant concept which is upcoming here?
For sure. I mean, for that one, we are looking into tenant concept because, I mean, we are currently monitoring on HDI basis, but for sure, when the tenant concept is in place, and available for customers, we will try to use it. So for sure for that scenario. And I mean, going to the next case, which is the middle part, let's say for our bigger projects, like lighthouse projects like Spark, we will talk about this later, where we have a highly optimized HANA Cloud environment for the project needs. And that is actually where we're using very big HANA machines for the different projects. And these are also managed by us. So we are operating that centrally. The updates are then also applied centrally. And the last pillar is going into the direction of data analytics, right? So DataSphere, for sure, it's also built on top of HANA Cloud, where we are also building up currently our DataSphere landscapes. So we are able then to build analytics cases on BTP defined in the different layers, which you can see on the screen, inbound layer, reporting layer, and harmonization layer. And then also providing this data, this SAP data, centrally to our consumer applications. And also feeding our central data hub, which is in Azure.
Which I'm seeing the DPA there to get the data out of the ECC, yeah?
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, that is the story, how we are using HANA Cloud. And just to sum up, to also give you some examples and benefits regarding the clean core concept. So because with the use case 1 and 2, we are actually leveraging clean core because we are decoupling the extensions from the ECC to BTP and providing as well real-time analytics for our projects and have a central data integration with the pillar 3. And with that, we are ready for AI in the future because that applications we can develop very fast and can deploy innovations quite fast, which also have benefits for our business.
So one of the things you compared to the ABAP stack is also that new functionalities you do, clean core, taking it out, you have faster turnaround times to get things faster into production.
Exactly, and we are able to develop the applications very fast. Now we're using the CAP-based approach, which is quite fast and easy to use for our developers. And now we are able, for that application, which we will deep dive later, we are deploying daily into our production systems.
So benefits of Cloud Foundry fully used, yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah. So then we look at Spark here. So that is your application, which is for this price, yeah?
Exactly. I mean, this price here, which you can see in the screen, which is actually calculated by our key account managers, and they are actually using this application, which is a trade promotion solution. For sure, SAP has also an offering on the ECC side or S/4HANA side, but our needs are very special. Because you can see in the screens, we have the requirement to search combinations in a tree which has billions nodes, and that is sometimes not possible with ECC or it's very slow. And that's why we are opted for a custom-based solution running on BTP, which we are calling Spark, which is actually helping our businesses to plan, execute, and analyze trade promotions, which you can see at the end here, or to the end customers. And the goal is for sure to maximize our sales and also giving contributions back to our retailers and distributors. And the whole process of planning is very complex. So there is a planning node, a tree of billion nodes, which is actually then heavily calculated inside HANA. And that's where we're using this application. So you can see the key account manager is logging into the application, which you can see in the architecture here. They're using SAP UI5-based user interfaces to do actually the planning of the promotions. And this interface, user interface, is served by several backend systems. So we have a full-fledged microservice architecture developed on BTP for several sections of the applications. And actually the center or the core of that application is HANA Cloud. So we are using heavily SQL scripts, optimized SQL scripts, HANA views, everything which HANA is actually offering on the Hex engine side to actually calculate a promotion for the end customers. And then for sure, once the promotions is calculated, we are transferring this data back to our ERP system. So from there on, we are able to track it.
I can approve that you are bringing us sometimes to the edges, but I think we always succeeded to catch up with your needs. So far.
Exactly. And I mean, what is the benefit? I mean, in the past, a key account manager, it was taking several hours or days to calculate that promotions. And now with the use of HANA Cloud and especially BTP for the scale up and scale down environment, we can calculate the promotions for the customers in seconds or minutes. So now the customer or the key account manager is going to the meetings to the customer and then discussing the financials, and then he is clicking on calculating, grabbing a coffee, and then when they're back, they have the results.
Have you started to mobilize the application?
We will start that. So currently, because the screens are very complex to calculate the promotions, but that is the next phase to also providing iPad and mobile solutions so that actually they can do it maybe also on the plane or on a train. So that is actually Spark, and which we have built on BTP actually.
Any plans for the future here?
For sure. I mean, we are talking every time about AI, right? So we are also planning to use or infuse AI into that solution, because planning is the one part, but the business users also want to have recommendations of the system. So how we can plan the promotion in the best way, also infusing marketing data, sales data, which is externally by Henkel, and that we want to use AI for. So we have developed an optimization engine in Python running on Kima, where we are optimizing with the help of AI models and linear optimization to maximize our return of investments. And that is actually one use case where we want to infuse AI. And for sure, in the future, we are also looking into more AI capabilities like Gen AI, like so to have chatbots in the application, so that these chatbots can guide the user into a certain direction. And so that is actually our plans to use Kima for that, because the Kubernetes-based clusters are very optimized for such workloads, which are CPU intensive. And we are hoping that with that solution, we will also apply the next step.
So that's also interesting. You're using both environments, Cloud Foundry environment for the application itself, and for heavy server-based loads, you're using the Kima environment.
I mean, that is the beauty of the business technology platform, right? Yeah. So you have actually 3 environments which you can choose, and we are using for some cases Cloud Foundry. For some, we want to use now Kima, because it's heavily depending on the use case. But yeah, in this scenario, both environments are in place, and we're also looking forward for the next cases for that.
Looking at HANA, what's the biggest benefit HANA is providing you here, or what are the key benefits? If you want to count 3 things, why is HANA so great for you?
I mean, one is the low TCO, right? Yeah. For sure, because it's more or less managed by SAP. We don't need to take care about the infrastructure underneath. We just need to apply the upgrades. Yeah. But the upgrades with the self-service tool is also more or less 1 or 2 clicks, right? And then it's done. The next thing is it's highly integrated into BTP, into the CAP-based framework developments, and we can use HDI container concepts to actually deploy our database changes quite fast. So that is one huge benefit of HANA Cloud, and for sure it is playing a central role for our clean core concept, because we are now moving to RISE, and HANA is the database persistency to go on BTP, and with the tight integration also with S4, we want to also elaborate data integration capabilities on that side. So these are the key benefits from our side. Which we see.
Okay. So, anything else you want to tell?
Nothing more. I would say keep it up, and
yes, please.
We can go to the Q&A, I would say.
Do we have questions? So I'm reading the question here. It seems you have multiple HANA Cloud instances. Are you using HANA to HANA connection for any scenario? Are there any challenges, if so?
So we are using HANA to HANA Cloud connections, where we are using SDI or SDA technologies. And yes, we are also seeing challenges sometimes when the data replication mechanisms have huge data footprints. So we see sometimes that the network connection in between is then broken or going down. Yep. But in this case, you can apply certain mechanisms like partitioning and so on to optimize this. And the biggest challenge is actually when you're moving big data sets from A to B. Yeah. Also with HANA, it's sometimes quite challenging.
Are you using table replication, HANA table to HANA table replication, or just remote access?
Remote access, we are trying to federate the data, let's say with DataSphere, whenever possible. But in some scenarios, federation is also not making any sense because the data footprint is very huge. Every time to federate millions data records on runtime, it's also because of the network latency also too expensive. That's where we're also using replicate. We're trying to federate, but in some cases we are doing federation with replication.
So just as an advertise for Devtober, I will show the new Fabric virtual table in HDI. So we are able to either remote access, static cache, or replicate a table. Once you have established it, you can switch the kind of this behavior. So that's very nice in HDI then.
Then I'm looking forward.
Yeah, sure. So we have more questions. No, we have that one gone.
Yeah.
Can you break down the total cost of ownership? I think how much is spent on the stack with its volume?
I mean, with total cost of ownership, I mean, for sure you need to pay for the runtime. I mean, that is for sure you have to pay because SAP is charging for that. With lower total cost of ownership, you need to take care about the infrastructure, right? So which you have done on-premise HANA. You need to have HANA experts who are really knowing the database very well. In this case, because you have a self-service tool of HANA Cloud available, actually the maintenance is very easy. And that is actually which is reducing the total cost of ownership quite drastically because it's more or less fully managed.
Are you using other things like Cloud ALM or ANS or
yes, sure.
Automation
I mean,
Pilot?
that we're using Cloud ALM. We have implemented a blueprint for that. And we are also centrally monitoring, let's say, overall metrics like CPU, memory consumption with Cloud ALM. But in case there are some more problems in the applications we need to dive deeper in, then we're using the HANA Cloud tools.
So when you're sharing a HANA with the smaller applications, it's obviously cheaper to have several instances or several HDI containers on one HANA than having each one an individual one. How are you sharing the costs? What are you doing there?
I mean, currently we are sharing the cost based on how many projects are on there. So simply just, let's say we have 20 projects on the HANA, we are just dividing it to 20 and then giving the cost charging. But here, I mean, if I can talk about wishes, what we want to have from SAP in the future is also on HDI container level to track the consumption of the different applications so that we are able also to cross-charge our projects equally and fair.
Yeah, it's a lot of measures going in, like memory, like disk storage, like network access, like CPU. And there's another one coming in. How does AI enable Joule so that's generative AI will help Spark trade promotion, explain, and execution, planning and execution? Does it have capabilities to handle all the key figures and provide solutions with reports?
I mean, we have currently just this one AI case in place where we are optimizing the promotions. But for sure, when we're talking about Joule, in the future, we want to use a chatbot functionality which is guiding the users because the screens of Spark are very complex. And here we want to actually guide the user into a certain direction where for sure GenAI is quite helpful, which we will explore in the future.
Yeah, there are other things like the predictive analytic libraries and other things we have in pipe, which you will use. AI, generative AI, I think is not maybe in the query engine or formulating queries better. We are running out of time. Thanks so much, Majinder, being here in Walldorf. Not really Walldorf, it's Heidelberg.
Not far away from Walldorf, I would say. But also thank you for having me here.
It was a pleasure. Thanks very much.
Thank you.